Martin, couples therapy. I'm one half of this couple. Talk to me.
I want to talk about burnout. Burnout is something that I experience very often. So often now that it doesn't even feel like burnout. It's just like a constant, like, smoke. I'm trying to think of like analogies of like burnouts, but I feel burnout all the time. I've got a lot of stuff on at the moment. Sometimes it's very overwhelming. There's a lot of responsibility, there's a lot of pressure, there's just so many moving parts, and it's easy for someone to say, I know someone who needs a bit of work experience, they could do that, they could do this. You could pay someone, like, and that's fine. Like, listen, I could pay someone, or I could find someone to help me with things I want to do. But as you know, that doesn't help. Like, that just adds to the stress of having to either train someone, fill them in with things, spend hours with them explaining, then having to worry about things getting done and having to monitor the things that are being done. So it's like that doesn't help. Although it sounds like a great idea, it does not fucking help. And you'll know this from first-hand experience. So I'm burnt out, man. I'm so fucking burnt out. This has been a really tough week. A lot of amazing things have happened on the face, and from the outside perspective, it looks like I'm doing really well, but I am so burnt out, and I burn out all the time.
When you say burnout, what do you specifically, like, what is the result?
It's like you overwork yourself to the point where whatever you're trying to do just isn't happening. So you're just either going in circles. When I burn out, I don't stop. I still continue doing, even if it's just a minimal amount of something. I like in the last 8 months, I can't remember the last time I had like a proper day off. And when I burn out, I turn into this fucking snappy, like, shit needs to be done now, like, like no time for anyone.
Impatient.
Yeah, like I turn into this proper cunt, and it's not nice, and I feel low, and it's like a mix of like, it's like so much stress, man. Like, stress is such a big part of the stuff that I'm doing, and it can be rough. So I wanted to bring up burnout, and I wanted to know what you do, how you combat it, how you deal with it, how you cope with it, because I know you deal with it. A lot of people probably deal with burnout in some form. Just at the moment, it's just fucking, like, even things like prepping for this podcast, which should be a fun thing, it isn't fun because I'm having to worry about how much time I'm putting into that, and then how much time I'm losing from the other thing. So it can become really overwhelming, and I wanted to hear what your thoughts were.
So what you're explaining there is exactly what I go through, especially in 2020. Pre-lockdown, I had 2 staff. One of them is still with, the other one is not. And the other one left of their own accord to pursue other ambitions, which I was very happy about. But at the time I was like, I've just spent 6 months training you up. You're at that point of being able to fly solo, and you've just been like, I'm gonna go. And I was just like, this is exactly the problem. So it is difficult, because really the only thing that you can do is to build a team of specialists so that you can spread the workload, ensure that they are committed to doing this. We are perfectionists. You're a perfectionist, I'm a perfectionist. We work well together because I trust you in your perfectionism and your skill, your talent, your way with people, and that I know that you fucking care. So there's a level of trust that I know that I can go, Martin has it. And if something goes wrong, which things go wrong, I know Martin has it, right? Because that's the important part that most people miss, is that they think, oh, if it goes wrong, then, and it's like, well, no, because they just need to fucking fix it, because shit goes wrong all the time, right? And you fix it. I fix it. So we're cut of the same cloth. And so in terms of burnout, I burn out often. Burnt out the other day, and I got so exhausted to the point that I couldn't really do just general stuff. Just general stuff, like making a cup of coffee just seemed like too much. It's fucking up to here. So what can you do, Martin? So there's something that I came across recently. Oh, you know what it was? It was fucking Casey Neistat.
Oh yeah.
The most powerful thing you can say is no. If you can say no, that's the most empowering thing that you can do, especially as a creative or as a business owner or as someone who works for yourself. One of the things that I don't do enough is to say no. I just see opportunity.
Bro, I'm the exact same.
When you're working for yourself, you don't know when that next opportunity is gonna come around the door. But then it all stacks up, right? Like you were saying, the 10 projects, like don't commit when you can't commit. I don't commit to people unless I am 100% sure that I will do that now. Because I've been through all this. Essentially, like I'm 10 years on from fucking being where you were, fucking burning out. But unfortunately working with people who weren't very on the same wavelength. You need to be able to say yes and no at the same time. And some of the ways of doing that is like to say, that sounds amazing. I would love to do that. And if I have the time, I will let you know. Because then you've essentially said, you're
not closing doors. You're leaving it ajar.
Yeah, exactly. Because you need to develop relationships in this business.
It's a great bit of advice that I took on yesterday. So if anyone else is in similar situations, definitely take that into consideration. I'm definitely a yes man in that I will say yes to a lot of things before even fucking thinking through whether I can actually do it. For example, you wanting to do a pre-production before we started this at 7 o'clock. Yeah, no problem. Knowing damn well I was probably going to get a call from my producer, probably going to have to do 10 other things, didn't even have beer in the fridge. I said yes anyway, and when did we start this? We started this like 2 hours later because of that. So it's just little things like that. It's my management overall biting off more than I could chew. That needs to be addressed. I think that would set me off in a good direction.